Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to yet another last minute super revision series from BioPoint Stream the World of Bio on the NCRT extract of environmental issues for bots and me 2021. Yes, I hope my voice is clear. Yes. Yes, I hope my voice is clear. The screen is clear for each one of you over here. Yes. So, without wasting any time, this is a very simple chapter, but an important chapter. So for bots 2021, you won't be having in detail of this chapter because this is not included in your for CBSE board 2021. Environmental issues is not there for your syllabus, but for NEET 2021, you will expect some direct MCQs, very easy direct MCQs from this chapter of environmental issues, which is very quite a simple but an interesting chapter for you all to learn. Simply, whenever we learn or whenever we see this chapter, the thing that comes to your mind, important concept related with this chapter definitely comes to your mind. Something related with pollution, then about ecosystem, ecology, biomagnification. So these are some of the topic which would definitely comes to your mind automatically as you study this chapter. Am I right? Right, everyone. So let's get started. This is our amazing Telegram group at t.me/neet_biopoint. This amazing Telegram group. Don't forget to join the Telegram group. Daily session updates, regular discussion, daily polls, quizzes, everything would be conducted in the BioPoint Telegram group. Yes, good morning, Anilin. How is your studies going and how are you doing, everyone? Yes. Those who are watching the session, don't forget to hit the like button, do share it with your friends, and subscribe this amazing channel of BioPoint. Stream the world of bio for NEET 10th, 12th, 11th, and repeaters. So let's get started with this amazing class on the chapter of environmental issues. Okay, everyone. So in this chapter, firstly, we are discussing about what is the concept of pollution. Pollution is an undesirable physical, chemical, or biological characters of air, water, land, which causes damage to the plants, animals, and humans, and also to the architectural structures. So, right from your 6th standard, 7th standard itself, you have been familiar. You have been hearing this term pollution, and now being a 12th grade student or preparing for NEET examination, you are quite familiar with what is actually the meaning of the term pollution. So, pollution can be any undesirable change. Pollution can be any kind of undesirable change which is happening in the surrounding, any kind of undesirable change which is happening in the environment that can affect all living organisms such as plants, animals, humans, etc. They can affect all kinds of living organisms by this undesirable change. So, pollution can be defined as a physical, chemical, or biological characters of air, water, or land which can cause damage to the animals, plants, humans, and all architectural structures. Next, whenever we study about pollution, we have to study what is the agent that causes pollution. What is that agent that causes pollution, everyone? It is pollutant. Yes, Calvin, we have began to start only, no issues. I have told the definition of pollution only. Okay, so you'll get it easily. So what is actually pollutants? Pollutants are actually the agents which causes pollution. So agents that causes pollution are known as pollutants. What are the different kinds of pollutants that you can see? For example, air pollution. You can also see have automobile exhaust as a very important and a very then pesticides, water pollution and all pesticides, insecticides, all these things can cause tremendous amount of pollution. So all these kinds of agents that leads to is known as pollutants. Is it clear, everyone? Next, firstly, we are discussing about some of the terms which are coming in this chapter. So, pollution, pollutants. Third one is the slash and burn agriculture, which is also known as the Zoom agriculture. Slash and burn agriculture or the Zoom agriculture is the next point which we are discussing. The farmers cut down the trees and burn the remaining part. Whenever, for example, I'll tell you something. You might have seen the process of cutting of a tree. Am I right? You all might have get familiarized with how the trees are being cut. For example, in your home itself, when you are cutting a tree or something, definitely if this is a tree, what happens? A small, that is if this is the root, especially large plants, that is large tree like plants which is having a well developed root system which is firmly attached to the soil with long thick branches. What happens? You will always, for example, when you are cutting or when you are cutting a coconut tree, what happens? You will cut it like this. A small portion of this plant will be left above the soil, right? A small portion will be left above the soil because it's not possible for that person to cut down the entire tree. So, what is done in slash and burn agriculture? The farmers would cut down the trees and the remaining part, that is this much part is remaining, right? So, this much part is remaining after the tree is cut, right? So, this cut part is actually, the remaining part is actually burned. The remaining part is actually burned. And this particular ash is used as a fertilizer. This particular ash is used as a fertilizer, and the land is then used for farming or cattle grazing to get rid of all kinds of trees or anything which is occurring in that particular place. Slash and burn agriculture, or it's otherwise known as zooming or zoom cultivation, is done for making a land useful for farming or cattle grazing. Clear, everyone? Give me thumbs up on the chat box if the definition up to slash and burn agriculture is clear. Pollution, pollutant, zoom cultivation or zooming, or slash and burn agriculture. Three terms we have discussed in today's class in the first 5 minutes. So tell me whether you have understood the three definitions clearly or not. Fast hit the chat box with the thumbs up, everyone. Quick, we don't have time, we don't have extra time to waste. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, so let's get moved into the next question, next term, that is reforestation. Okay, thank you so much, Anilan and Calvin. So stay tuned till the end, and if you have any doubt, just clarify this chapter today itself. Okay, so the next term is reforestation. You might have learned about deforestation. What is deforestation? It is a process of cutting down of trees. And what is meant by afforestation? Afforestation means planting of trees in a new area, planting of trees in a new area. But what is the difference between reforestation and afforestation? Reforestation is actually the phenomenon or the process of restoring a process. But what is afforestation? It is a creation of a new forest. Afforestation means creation of a new ecosystem, creation of a new surrounding, a planly environment. But reforestation means planting of trees again in an area where the trees have already existed for past years. For example, I'll tell you, in your home, in your vegetable garden, all the vegetable plants have got cleared due to some insect or worms or whatever. You were forced to clean all those things. And after you cleared everything, what happened? You just bought some new seeds and you planted them again and started cultivation over there. And this kind of planting of trees again in an area where there were agriculture once in the past, that is said to be reforestation. The other thing, When you're buying a bare area, when you're buying a bare area where no living organisms were there for the past years, no plants, no animals were there, and you are planting a new species of plant or a new plant over there in that area, that is referred to as afforestation. So almost every kinds of gardening, cultivation and all we do in our home is a kind of reforestation only, because in our area locality, what happens in the previous year, there were plants. Due to the more human habitation, they got cleared from that area for getting more spaces. Am I right? Are you clear with the difference between deforestation, afforestation and reforestation? Yes, everyone. Next term is the effluent. Something flowing over a large body of water, maybe a sewage or an industrial effluent, is known as effluent. Okay, something which is flowing, all the flowing kinds of liquids, all the flowing kinds of waste, you will call them as effluents. Yes, Shashank, how are you? Yes, effluents are something which is flowing over a large body of water, that is referred to as effluents. The last, some of the full forms, that is abbreviations which you have to study, which are repeatedly asked previous year MCQ question. For example, the first one, let me clear off. The first one, CPCB, very very important, frequently repeated, Central Pollution Control Board, MCQ question for the past NEET exam. Next, FOAM, FOAM, Friends of Ekarta Marsh, which we will be discussing, MCQ question. Then JFM, what do you mean by JFM? Joint Forest Management, previous year MCQ question. So guys, in the match the following type of question, statement questions and all, you will find CPCB, FOAM, JFM, all these things as abbreviation. When you read this, you will be thinking, very simple, joint forest management, but the time of examination, it will come as a question also. Okay, so be ready to write any pattern of question which you can expect for a NEET examination for the coming year. Okay, okay, everyone. And one more important update, so one more important thing which I have to tell you is that for NEET examination, when the latest pattern or syllabus is produced by NTA after all this JEE mains and all is getting over, I don't know when are they going to announce the date. Maybe the next meeting, because all the board exam dates are fixed. All the patterns about CBSE boards and JEE mains have been already announced. So maybe the next live of our education ministry will be there. So maybe the next time, next thing will be the it's my opinion, for which, because all the other important examination have been, dates have been fixed and pattern also have been fixed. So maybe the next time, next thing will be the NEET 2021 will be going to be ahead. And the important thing which I have to tell you is, if you find any chapter of bio, physics or chemistry most difficult, that is, even if I study this chapter completely also, to do any kind of MCQs, even if I spend my whole year in studying this chapter also, I don't know how I am making mistake in the questions when I am doing. Just do one thing, just take out the latest syllabus of CBSE, just check it out and make sure that it is not in that syllabus. Then slightly you can please remove it. Anyway, don't miss to read out the NCRT. Suppose by God's grace, if you get an easy question which you know the answer, then definitely you can write. Otherwise, just look at the CBSE syllabus of 2021. If it is not there, just omit it slightly. Please don't omit the entire CBSE, deleted syllabus. Okay, just delete the syllabus or delete the portion which you feel that I am not good at. Then study the other things which you are good at very clearly, so that you can be able to answer the question. Why I told this is because for NEET examination, if option is going to come, or the 2020, if the syllabus reduction is not going to happen, what happens? 2021 examination for NEET will be set in such a way that the CBSE board students who studied by themselves without having any kinds of coaching or anything must also gain a rank, right? So definitely the question will be based on both the weightage of the NEET 2020 already written students, those who have been going to tuitions, coaching classes, and prepared the entire topics, and to the other students who are very poor, they cannot afford a coaching, they have only their school, college classes. So depending upon all these things, they have to set the question, right? So let's expect the question to be a simple one. So if you are confident that I'm able to study, then it would be the most better thing, because we don't know from which chapter which easy question, from which chapter difficult question is going to come. Okay, just make a clear decision and just move forward with one chapter per day is quite enough and more for each one of you. Okay, one chapter per day is quite enough for more. Okay, so back to the class, everyone. Joint forest management, which was introduced by the Government of India in the 1980s to work closely with the local communities for protecting and managing of forest. So please don't miss, these are previous year 100 percentage PYQ MCQ. Okay, previous year question. So make sure that you study that. Yes, the next one is the control of air pollution. So in this chapter, we'll be studying about the different kinds of pollution, that is air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, thermal pollution, all these things we'll be studying over here. So what is air pollution? Air pollution is actually the undesirable changes in the air, right? Undesirable changes happening in the air or the surrounding, you will call it as pollution of air or air pollution. So now it can be caused by different methods. For example, automobile exhaust, burning of fossil fuels, then use of agricultural pesticides, insecticides. They're gaseous. If they are gaseous, they can also cause air pollution, right? So these are some of the causes of air pollution, and now we are about to discuss with what are the controlling methods, or how can this particular air pollution be controlled. The first and the foremost important thing is the use of electrostatic precipitators. This device is very efficient, which is used to remove the particulate matter from the air. So very important aims, NEET MCQ aims, previous year aims and previous year NEET MCQ question. Electrostatic precipitators are used to remove the particulate matter. Are used to remove the particulate matter. Is the screen clear? Is the screen clear for everyone? Is my voice clear? If it's breaking, please inform me. Okay, because I've reduced the volume of my device, so I won't be able to catch it out easily when is my voice breaking or not. So please try to inform me. Tell me whether the screen is clear or not. Okay, everyone. It's clear? Yes. So electrostatic precipitators is very efficient, and it is used to remove particulate matter from the air. It can remove over 99% of the particulate matter present in the industrial and thermal power plant exhaust. In this device, electrode at 1000 volt are used, and dust particles are passed out through this device. Electrons get released to the dust particle, giving them a negative charge, and the collecting plates are ground, or they are undergone a process of earthing, as a result of which the negative charges would be attracted towards the center of the earth. Is it clear? Is it clear? So you have to study three main important points over here, which I'll use a highlighter to mark it off. So electrostatic precipitator is actually a method of controlling of air pollution. It is very efficient and is used to remove. It is very efficient and is used to remove the particulate matter from the air. They can remove nearly 99% of the particulates which are used in present industrial and thermal power plants. And the most important thing, the electrode wires are kept at several thousand volt, and the dust particle are made to collide with the electrons. The electrons are colliding with the dust particle, giving the dust particle a negative charge, giving them a negative charge. Is it clear? Next, the second one is the scrubber. The second one is the scrubber. So very important previous year MCQ, they are used to remove gaseous pollutant like sulfur dioxide. So name the type of controlling method which is used to control the particulate matter for air pollution. Dioxide, it is scrubber. So the exhaust is passed through a spray of water and lime, which on reacting with sulfur One second. Let me. Oh my god, our session has started only. Just 1 second, I'll rectify that. Okay, just 1 second, I'll rectify. Oh my god, our session has started only. Wait, you may hear some echo. Okay, you might hear some echo right now. Before that, I have to set the connection over here. Please wait, everyone. Just tell me what about now? Is it clear? Just tell me what about now? Is it clear? I've used the net over here, replaced Wi-Fi. What about now? Is it fine and clear? Just tell me what about now? Is it clear? Yes. Just tell me what about now? Is it clear? Yes. So let's move. Catalytic converters. What is actually the next device that is used to control air pollution is the catalytic converters. This is a device which is fitted in automobiles. This is a device which is fitted in automobiles for reducing the emission of poisonous gases. In catalytic converters, we use metals such as rhodium, platinum, palladium as catalyst, which is very important. Okay, so in this particular device known as catalytic converters, we use metals such as platinum, palladium, rhodium, etc. as the catalyst. And the most important thing, catalytic converters can only be used along with vehicles, can only be used in vehicles in which unleaded petrol is used, can be only used in vehicles using unleaded petrol. It is a very important point which you have to remember. So the important thing, catalytic converters, device fitted in automobiles for reducing the emission of gases. Metals such as rhodium, platinum, palladium are used as catalysts, and this can be inserted into device having only using unleaded petrol, that is lead. Actually what happens, lead actually poisons the catalyst. Lead act as a poison to the catalyst. That is why. Clear? Next, BOD or biological oxygen demand. BOD or biological oxygen demand. BOD or biological oxygen demand refers to the amount of oxygen that would be consumed if all organic matter in 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. Clear, everyone? So what do you mean by actually what is the term BOD refers to? BOD refers to what? Amount of oxygen that would be consumed by the microorganism present in 1 liter of water. Refers to the amount of oxygen which is required by the microbes to oxidize the organic matter present in 1 liter of water. 1 liter of water, how much amount of organic matter is present? So bacteria have to reduce it, so for that they need amount of oxygen. So thus amount of oxygen which is used by bacteria or which is used by the microbe for consuming organic matter present in 1 liter of soil is known as BOD. And what is actually the measure of BOD gives us? It gives us the rate of uptake of oxygen present in the microorganism. If the BOD level, that is, if the BOD level is high, what happens? More microbe is there. More microbe means very less oxygen is only available. What is the condition of very less oxygen? It is a polluted water body. What happens? It becomes a polluted water body. So BOD is a measure of organic matter present in water. So this is a previous year AIMS MCQ question. BOD measures, or the rate of measure of BOD is, it is a measure of organic matter present in the water, or it is more polluting, or how much pollution. The more the BOD, the more is the pollution of the water. How much? The more is the BOD, the more is the pollution of water. So greater the BOD, greater is the pollution of the water body. So the effect of some important characteristic of a river is shown. So before that, what is actually, once again, what is actually BOD? It is the amount of oxygen that would be consumed by the organic matter in 1 liter of water oxidized by a bacteria. It refers to the rate of uptake of oxygen by the microorganism, measure of the organic matter present in the water. Greater the BOD, more is the polluting potential. Just hit the thumbs up on the chat box. Yes, guys, fill the chat box with the thumbs up. Yes, come on, everyone. Have you got the definition up to, or concept up to BOD? Yes, thank you so much. So, this is a very important graph which is given in your NCERT textbook. Do you all have your NCERT textbook with your hand? So very important diagram in your NCERT. So we are plotting a graph taking concentration on the y-axis and the direction of sewage flow on the x-axis. So look, and this is the area of sewage discharge. This is the place where sewage is discharged into the water body. So at the point of at the point of discharge of sewage, in sewage, the organic matter, the amount of organic matter is very high, right? The amount of organic matter is very high. So since the amount of organic matter is very high, the BOD level will be more high. Why? Because the microbe, the action of microbe would be more. The action of microbe would be more, which leads to less oxygen over there, because almost all the oxygen would be utilized by the microorganism for breaking off the organic matter into simpler form. So what happens? Very less oxygen is made available at the point of sewage discharge. Since the BOD level is very high, the fishes and other aquatic microorganism will ultimately leads to the death, that is disappearance of the water. Fishes are killed, aquatic organisms are killed. Okay, thank you so much, Calvin. Page number 274 of your NCRT class 12 environmental issue, you will find this graph. Very, 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 very important. Since for NEET 2020, we haven't got at least one diagram based question. So this time we are expecting our questions to be there in your NCRT, in your examination. Clear? So what happens? The BOD level is very high. The amount of dissolved oxygen is very low. The dissolved oxygen is very low. But as time passes, or as it passes, as the sewage gets discharged, as it flows, the dissolved oxygen level will become higher. And as because the BOD level was high in the initial, the microbes have acted and BOD level gradually becomes very low. Let me take out a blank slide and explain it to you, everyone. Okay, check everyone. Check over here. So I'm plotting a graph between concentration and discharge flow. Okay. Firstly, I am going to take with BOD level. Okay. Firstly, I'm going to go with BOD level. Okay. Firstly, I'm going to go with the BOD level. Clear, everyone? So this is the point of sewage discharge. As we have already told, this is the point of sewage discharge. This is the point of sewage discharge. At the point of sewage discharge, the amount of BOD will be very high. Right at the point of sewage discharge, the amount of BOD will be very high. So this yellow is BOD level. BOD level is very high at the point of discharge. But with the passage of time, it becomes very low. It becomes, or it reduces and reduces. Okay, so at this particular point, the BOD level is very low. So absolutely like this, at the initial before the sewage is discharged, the amount of oxygen is also very high. But at the point when the sewage is discharged, what happens? As microbes action takes place, the amount of dissolved oxygen reduces. Finally it leads to what? It leads to low oxygen concentration. So with the passage of time, the BOD level decreases, or oxygen level becomes high with the passage of time. Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear? Yes. So that's all. So that's important graph. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about the algal bloom. Next term or terminology of this chapter is the algal bloom. Presence of large nutrients in water causes the excessive growth of alga called the algal bloom. Guys, in some areas, in some lakes, old lakes, ponds and all, you will find scums of alga growing over on the top. The water may be looking green in color because why? A large amount of pesticides, insecticides, a large amount of nutrients are getting filled up on that water body, which leads to the growth of tremendous amount of alga or any other organism. That is referred to as the algal bloom. And if you check very carefully, that area might be related, or that area might have a connection with an agricultural field. This is mainly, algal bloom is mainly happening because of the surface run of agricultural water. Surface runoff agricultural water which contains insecticides, pesticides, biofertilizer, or any kind of chemicals used in the what crops. They may be surface running off from the water to the water body, causing the growth of alga by nutrient enrichment method. Okay, what are the harmful effects of algal bloom? It leads to fish mortality, that is death of fishes, deterioration of the water quality, that is water quality is made low. They are very toxic to animals and human beings. Okay, so will we go to that lake and take some water? No, because that is very toxic, because it doesn't contain even few quantities of dissolved oxygen. All those are used up by the plants as well as the alga and the other organisms present over there. It deteriorates the water quality, the oxidation, the oxiding The oxygen present over there, it will reduce by oxidation of the organic matter. The bacteria or the microbe will consume as much amount of oxygen as it needs, right? It leads to fish mortality, that is in that particular area no fishes or any other aquatic organism would be found over there. Hit the chat box with the thumbs up. Hit the chat box with the thumbs up if it's clear. Yes, everyone. Hit the chat box with the thumbs up, everyone. By the time, let me have some water. What happened? I'm receiving no response. Yes, thank you so much. Yes. Next term is the biomagnification. Next term is the biomagnification. You know very carefully. Listen very carefully. You. This is very important. Listen very carefully. Refers to increase in concentration of a toxic substance at successive trophic level. The biomagnification of DDT is a very important chart which is given in your NCRT, which is a frequently repeated MCQ question. Very important. So in the water, the amount of DDT or amount of that toxic substance would be 0.003 ppb. 0.003 ppb. Okay, and the amount of phytoplankton, that is the when that particular toxic substance reaches the level of phytoplankton, what happens? It reaches the amount of 0.0025 ppm. From phytoplanktons, when it reaches the zooplanktons, it would leads to 0.04 ppm. From zooplanktons, when it reaches the small fishes, it would have 0.5 ppm. From small fishes, when it reaches up to the large fish, it would be 2 ppm. And finally, when it reaches the birds, the amount of DDT would be very high, which is 5 ppm. Actually, I think in your NCRT it is 25. 25, right? Just to make sure, Calvin, please have a check on that. Please check it out. Calvin, please check it out in the NCRT if it is in the fish eating birds. Is it 5 given in the NCRT or is it 25? I forget to bring the NCRT. I forget to take out the NCRT today. So please tell me whether it is 25 in the NCRT or 5 ppm in the NCRT. I should not convey a wrong information. So for that, I need a clarification. Tell me fast if it is 25 or 5. Yes, 25 ppm. Okay, please make a correction over there. So study the table which is given in your NCRT. Okay, which is given in your NCRT. Okay. So in the fish eating birds, it is 25 ppm. So study the table which is mentioned in your NCRT only. Okay. Clear? Clear everyone with this concept of biomagnification. Yes, thank you so much, Calvin. Next, we are about to end this chapter. We are moving on to the last parts of this chapter. That is harmful effect of this particular biological magnification. High concentration of DDT disturbs calcium metabolism in birds, which causes the thinning of the eggshell and their premature breaking, causing decline in the bird population. Neet 2019 MCQ question. Neet 2019, what is the after effect of biological amplification in birds? It leads to the thinning of the eggshell. Premature breaking and causing the decline in the bird population is the important after effect of DDT in birds. It affects the calcium metabolism. Okay, everyone. Next, just as how we did about the algal blooms, eutrophication is somewhat similar to algal bloom. It is a process of nutrient enrichment by nitrates and phosphates. NO3 minus and PO4 3 minus, nitrates and phosphates. Okay, nitrates and phosphates, due to the accumulation of nitrates and phosphates which act as the nutrients, the process of enrichment of nutrients which leads to subsequent loss of species diversity like fishes. Excess nutrient causes algal bloom which may cover the whole surface of water body which releases toxin. What is actually this algal bloom, eutrophication, all these are doing? It actually leads to deficiency of oxygen in the water, thus causing deficiency of oxygen causes the death of the aquatic organism. Deficiency of oxygen causes the death of aquatic organism. Is it clear? Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear? Harmful effect of biological magnification and eutrophication. Algal bloom, is it clear for everyone? Yes. Next term is the global warming. Global warming is an increase in the level of greenhouse gases which is mainly responsible for global warming, that is increase in the mean global temperature due to trapping of infrared radiation. Carbon dioxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbon, nitrous oxide are the main gases that cause greenhouse effect. Previous year MCQ question. This chart is also given in your NCRT. So study the chart as per the table or pie chart given in the NCRT. Study what is mentioned in the NCRT. Carbon dioxide 60%, methane 20%, chlorofluorocarbon 40%, nitrous oxide 6%. So in the previous year questions, you might have seen they are labeling A, B, C and D. They will be asking you to label which is A, which is B, C and D gases. Okay, sometimes they may make a mistake or they can confuse you with this kind of labeling. For example, they can give you some kind of labeling like A, B, C, D, and the options would also be set in such a way. So you have to identify what is this small column, what is this one, what is this one. The large one is the carbon dioxide 60%. So you have to read the question very carefully before you click the answer for any question. This is actually showing the percentage of greenhouse gases in the environment. The harmful effect of global warming. Melting of ice polars and glaciers. Melting of glaciers and ice polars. Then over many years, this will result in the rise of sea level that can cause flood in the coastal areas. Which is also one important after effect of this global warming due to increase in temperature. What happens? Increase in temperature, the rise in sea level, the ice polar caps will ice and all will melt, and in the polar regions instead of ice it will leads to water, right? So the animals which is living, the polar bear and all which are adapted to live in such an extreme cold condition will not be able to survive if the temperature gets increased. How can we control the global warming? Minimize the use of fossil fuels is the first method. Improving the efficiency of energy usage is the second one. Reducing deforestation, planting trees are some of the important measures to control the global warming. Is it clear? So minimize the use of fossil fuels, improving the efficiency of energy usage, reducing deforestation, planting of trees are some of the measures which are used to control global warming. Then climate change impact and mitigation. Human activities are changing. I'll mark the important one which you have to study in that paragraph. Human activities are changing the composition as well as the behavior of atmosphere, leading to its deterioration at the global level. Climate change is the phenomenon of seasonal changes. It's a seasonal changes over a period of time. Guys, for example, the mango shower. The mango shower. I hope you might have seen the mango shower, not mango shower, golden shower. Okay, a flower, golden shower, which you will use for Vishu and all, for important functions in Kerala like Vishu and all. You will use this particular flower, yellow colored flower, which blooms actually in a very hot condition in April May season when it is very hot. But I also have the same in my house which have already been flowered, and it flowers only in that particular period of April May season because it is adapted to flower in that particular hot season. Okay, that hot month. So right now itself it has already been flowered, and almost all the flowers have been bloomed and everything has been gone. Why? Because due to the global warming. It is also an effect of global warming, because in this month also it is too hot in the morning. It is too hot, right? Even this is January, which is actually the continuation of December winter season. January is also becoming very hot, just like April and May. So, what the flower is thinking, the flower doesn't have a calendar to just look out, right? This is the month January, I have to flower only after 3 months. No, it is just adapted to this amount of brightness. The photo period affects its reproduction. Okay, right, everyone? So, it has already been flowered. So, that is referred to as a climate change. Climate change is an important phenomenon which is actually happening because of this global warming. So, due to climate change, we are facing new challenges for survival. These all are just for your information. These all are just for your information only. So let me check how many slides are left out. Yes, two more are left out. In Kerala, it is somewhat. It's. I'm not telling at the case of night. In the morning, you have bright sun, but normal Jan mornings on the past years, it was not so bright like this, right? Not so bright like how it is happening now. Okay, so we have to reduce this. We have to reduce phasing out of fossil fuel, switching on how to low carbon sources, use of renewable energy resources, expanding forests to remove greater amount of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere are some of the things which we have to think about. Okay, we have to phase out the fossil fuels from which excess amount of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxides are coming out. We have to use renewable energy resources rather than using non-renewable energy resources which are going to get exhausted. Then we have to expand the forest cover more and more so that the plants have the ability to purify the carbon rich air by oxygen so that it can be used. So forest enrichment or expanding the forest cover is an important thing that you can do which to reduce this kind of global warming. Right, everyone? Next is the ozone depletion. How is ozone depletion happening? Ozone is actually a three-layered, not three carbon. Sorry. Three oxygen molecules are clubbed together to have an ozone molecule. So this ozone molecule is actually acted upon by the ultraviolet radiation. The chlorine present in the ultraviolet radiation breaks this ozone into oxygen atom and a nascent oxygen. So this will leads to, this is actually what is referred to as the ozone depletion. Right, this is referred to as the ozone depletion. Ozone gas is continuously formed by the action of UV rays on molecular oxygen and is also degraded into molecular oxygen in the stratosphere. The thickness of the ozone layer in a column of air to the top of the atmosphere is measured in terms of Dobson unit. So this is a unit of measuring the thickness. Okay, this is actually the unit of measuring the thickness of ozone. Ozone layer, the function is that absorbs the harmful ultraviolet radiation. These rays causes skin cancer, damage genes, causes inflammation of cornea. Inflammation of cornea is known as snow blindness. Is known as snow blindness. And what is the important factor that affects the ozone depletion? It is chlorofluorocarbon. Very important. Okay, the part of atmosphere with lesser concentration of ozone is called ozone hole. Is it clear for everyone? So I've been a bit fast because nothing so official about that or nothing so important about that particular area. You know very well what is ozone depletion. Ozone is known as O3, which is formed by the union of three oxygen atoms together. It is formed continuously by the action of ultraviolet radiation, which can easily break it also into respective oxygen and nascent oxygen atoms. The thickness of ozone layer is measured in terms of Dobson units. The ozone layer harms the ultraviolet radiation, absorbs the harmful ultraviolet radiation. What are the after effects or what are the disadvantages of this ultraviolet radiation? They cause skin cancer, snow blindness, damages the gene, causes mutation, genetic disorders, etc. And the most important sources of the ozone depletion is a chlorofluorocarbon, which is actually coming from where the refrigerators and all. Is it clear? Give me thumbs up on the chat box if this topic is clear. Then let's move on to the steps leading to the ozone depletion. If up to there is it clear, just tell me, hit the thumbs up on the chat box. We will start with the steps involved in breaking of ozone molecule or that leads to the formation of ozone layer. Yes, thank you so much. Very simple chapter. That is why going a bit faster as compared to yesterday's class. Okay, yesterday we were dealing with human physiology, very important chapter. You should not miss one question also. But this chapter is a very simple. Even if you read NCRT without my guidance also, you will be easily able to get almost all the points. So I'm today in today's class, I'm just trying to convey to you the important points of this chapter, which I wanted to revise you or wanted you all to recall once again when you are reading this chapter. So UV rays split the chlorofluorocarbon and release the atmospheric chlorine molecule. So this ozone will convert into oxygen and nascent oxygen by the action of ultraviolet radiation and also chlorine particle. The chlorine atom traps the oxygen atoms and ozone is not formed again from the oxygen. This leads to depletion of ozone layer. So guys, this is actually the ozone molecule. So the ozone, by the action of ultraviolet radiation, it is splitted up into oxygen and nascent oxygen. So you know that the ultraviolet radiation action on these two components can again leads to the formation of O3 itself, right? Because that is how ozone is formed, by the combination of oxygen molecule and nascent oxygen atom to form ozone in the presence of ultraviolet radiation. But in this reaction, chlorine is also reduced. Chlorine is also present from the chlorofluorocarbon. This will directly comes and attaches with the oxygen and actually it will break the supply of oxygen. It will trap the oxygen. The word can be used there as trap. It traps the oxygen, which does not facilitate the comeback to form ozone molecule. Ozone hole, large area of thinned ozone layer is found over Antarctica due to ultraviolet radiation can be coming inside you and can cause more amount of skin cancer and other deadly diseases. Okay, what are the control of air pollution in Delhi? Phasing out of old vehicles, use of unleaded petrol and low sulfur petrol and diesel, use of catalytic converters in vehicle, application of Euro norms 4. So guys, in the period of lockdown, that is in this COVID lockdown, you might have heard about a system that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Monday, all the vehicles with odd number can go out with permission. Tuesday, all the vehicle with even number. Wednesday, all the vehicle again with odd numbers. Thursday with even numbers. Friday with odd numbers. Saturday with even numbers. Sunday again. Sunday they have, if one week it is odd, the next week it will be even. I hope you might have seen this kind of an arrangement made by the government to reduce the spread of COVID virus, right? So in Delhi also, when the air pollution rate was very high in 2017, in Delhi when it was air pollution rate was very high, the most populated city in the India was Delhi during the year 2018, 17, 18 now also, but now reduced a bit. Actually, this increased air pollution, okay, in Kerala this was common. Okay, in a week only a very few vehicles would be made to go out. Otherwise, you will be getting punishment. The last number would be odd one day, the last number should be even in the next day. So that too much of vehicle will not just get traffic on the road. Right? So this is so in Delhi, actually the air pollution rate is very high. Very high means very high beyond an imagination. The people were not even able to respire. The people were not even able to respire smoothly. So all these things were happening. It finally leads to the formation of fog and smoke. The people were not able to go out. So at that particular time, the Delhi government came out with this particular alternative, that is phasing out of vehicles. Phasing out of vehicles, even number vehicles, odd number vehicles. So this was actually applied for Kerala also during the time of lockdown to avoid the spread of COVID virus. Auto fuel policy. The government of India has laid out a roadmap to cut down the vehicular air pollution in many cities of India. This goal of this was aromatic hydrocarbon, 35% of the fuel. This is not very important. Okay, auto fuel policy is not very important, but since it is given in your NCRT, let's get started. Let's study it. So the Bharat Stage 2 was applied to all automobiles in all cities from April 1, 2005. The cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata have to meet Euro emission norms from April 1, 2005 and Euro 4 norm emission from April 1, 2010 onwards. Actually, Euro norms means actually the procedure by which you can control the spread of air pollution. Next term which you are coming across in this chapter is the electronic waste or e-waste, irreparable computers, irreparable electronic goods. For example, jars, grinders, cookers, pressure cookers, all these things, right? Which you will give on to as the electronic waste, irreparable computers, CPU, UPS, then laptops, all these are irreparable. If they are irreparable, you will actually what disperse them, right? You will just actually dispense them. So at that particular time, they are known as electronic waste. For example, disposal of e-waste burned in landfills, incineration can be done. Sorry, incineration can be done. Recycling can be done so as for the disposal of e-waste. Okay, very important MCQ. How can e-waste be buried, or how can e-waste be disposed? By burning, by incineration, by making large pits and burying them inside those pits, especially electronic waste that have some kind of radioactive materials. Okay, next one is two kinds of effect, that is El Nino effect. El Nino effect means rise in temperature leading to very important changes in the environment resulting in odd climatic changes, deleterious changes, okay, which cannot be what imagined also. So rise in temperature to such an extent resulting in odd climatic changes is known as El Nino effect. And what are the adverse effects? They are the increased melting of polar ice cap. What is actually causing this, or why is the after effect? It will leads to okay. So the adverse effect means it's increased melting of polar ice caps, submerging of coastal areas, flood, loss of habitat leading to loss of biodiversity. Is this topic clear for everyone? Is it clear? Just give me hearts on the screen and let's end this amazing session. 10:15. My planning has find out its way today. So exactly 1 hour. We have took the class. I finished the entire chapter. So read the NCRT. 1 hour left for the next class at 11:15. You have 1 more hour left. So please don't waste the time. Just that in a 1 hour, just practice so much of NCRT based questions. Or else you can just now take out your NCRT of this chapter. 1 hour is enough and more. You can read out the NCRT thoroughly, carefully, each and every point, highlight in it if it is there any other important points mentioned. There are some important points over there. There are some important points. For example, there are about the friends of Akata Marsh in detail. Then about you. Oh my God, I have failed to mention about one important thing in the slide about one person named Ramesh Chandra Dagar. Then Ahmed Khan, a plastic sack about butamin and all. I have failed to tell over here. So if you have any doubt over there when you are reading the NCRT, please come to me in the Telegram. You can coordinate me in the Telegram t.me/neet_biopoint. You can come over there. You can search my sure Calvin. Right now itself, I'll send the PDF of the session. Okay. Questions I'll post in the evening because I don't have the mobile to take scan everything. So in the system, I'll try to do everything. The session PDF would be made available right now itself. Okay. So stay tuned. Read the NCRT. Read all the case study highlights. And if you don't have any kind of doubt, you can just move further with your question preparation. So we have discussed all these things in today's class about the entire chapter in a one-shot session with the whole chapter of environmental issues. So see you in next class, guys. Sharp at. Yes, sure, Calvin. Yesterday's session also would be made available. Okay, so bye bye, guys. Read the NCRT. Don't take a huge rest. Sharp at 11:15, we'll be seeing with the first chapter of plant physiology, plant growth, and development. Bye bye.